I'm really happy for everybody in that locker room. All those, all the players in there. Those guys have just worked so hard. They've stayed the course, been through a bunch of different things. The coaches that that I work with, strength staff, trainers, our administration, everybody. I mean, everybody's been really good and really supportive through this whole thing. We knew we weren't a bad team. We just had to, kind of knuckle up and find out who we are. And guys like Nuñez here, just I believe it's the fourth quarterback we played this year, and for him to come in and play the way he did, and the defense early and come out as well as they did, but then to regain their setting and get those stops at the end, get the block. I mean, it's just it's a testament to the character of these kids. We got great kids in that locker room. They've worked really hard. Obviously, it was really obvious from the get-go. They didn't throw the towel in there, ready to go. They weren't worried about the situation we were in, and so again, proud of them. And college football is a tough game, so it was great to go out there and work hard, get a good sweat going, and get a win.
Questions?
First question I want to ask is for the players. What did it feel like to get your first win in, I believe it was 5 weeks? What did it feel like to get your first win in such a long time?
It feels great. Just after that week 1 going 1-0 and then, going, I think on a 5-loss streak. It was brutal because, we put in the work every week and, we want, obviously we fight for the outcome to be different and, you work to, and try to execute game plan to win the game, and when that doesn't happen, it's exhausting and it's frustrating. But we have such a group of resilient guys in this locker room that are willing to come in and fight every day, and they're not going to give up, and they're going to keep our heads high, and we're going to keep fighting, and we have a lot of grit, and I'm proud of this team. Truly.
Coach,
Same. I like everything he said. I'll echo it. And what an exciting game to come back from. So it's a good one for us. It's exciting.
Coach, when Brandon ran in that last touchdown at the end of the fourth quarter, did you, how much did you consider going for 2, going for the win, or just going for overtime?
We talked about it, and had it been a deal where there was 20 seconds left or something like that, you might have thought about it, but you go for 2, and if you get it, and then you still leave them, a minute and 30 or something like that, then you still can lose the game on a field goal. So as hard as our guys had worked all night, I felt like they needed an opportunity just to just get out there one more time, get a stop on D, and play in overtime. And we really, we struggled on that last drive. It got hairy at the end. They drove the whole length of the field, and then we got the field goal block. So again, testament to the guy's character, just not quitting and playing hard.
For Tony and for Brandon, take me through that moment for both of you in that conversation where you told Brandon that he was going to go in the game and play quarterback.
Well, he was good. We knew going in he was going to play regardless. So
really?
We put a whole package in for him, and we didn't get to it until later in the second half. So that whole diamond package was meant for him. But we were struggling making reads. Some of the stuff you don't have to see. We had open guys on third downs, and we weren't hitting our RPOs. And Brandon had a good week of practice, probably the best week of practice he's had since he's been here. And I just felt like we needed to make a change. So at that point, after that last third down that we didn't get in our own end, I just said, hey, let's just go with Brandon and let him go out there and we'll run our package, but let's just go ahead and open our offense up and let him run it. And he did it great.
Brian.
I know earlier in the week, like I said, I was having a really good week of practice, and he pulled me aside and he's like, you're throwing the ball really good. I love the mojo. I love the confidence. Just keep it up and be ready when your name is called. And so just the whole game, I was being a good teammate, being a good leader, and picking Parker up on the sideline.
You've been doing that all season.
And picking Parker up on the sideline, just telling him what I saw and all that, trying to help him out. And I think it was 4:50 something left in the game when Coach called my number, and I was ready, and I just had to make the most of my opportunity.
What was the package that you guys put together for Brandon practice? Was that a new thing just this week after Jacksonville State, or was that a thing that you guys have been working on all season?
Well, it's something that we've had in the past. Instead of Eli Stowers, was the guy that ran it last year. If you watch us play, and Eli ran it the entire spring, and then he was gone. So it's something that we talked about, what can we do to change things up, and we decided to go ahead and put that back in with Brandon. So it's just something we've had the last couple of years. It's just. Again, at the end of spring, it was kind of like, all right, what are we going to do with that thing? And we talked about it this week about changing it up. We had a little bit more time to get ready for the game, and we put Brandon in there, and it worked out well.
Kale, for you, 4 sacks on the night. What was clicking for you?
That's just the defense as a whole. The call's got to be the right call. The back end's got to hold up like they were. And, when everybody else does their job, you just got to do yours. So everybody else, that's 11 guys doing their job, and that's what happens.
And talk to me about the defense's mentality going into the field goal, obviously getting the blocked field goal. what was the mentality like knowing that? Were you guys kind of feeling beat up considering the third down conversion type deal, or were you fairly confident in that moment of time?
We're always confident. I think we go hard on every field goal. We know they're going to attempt it, but we don't know they're going to make it every time. So we're going to give it our best to stop that. And we had refused to lose on our whiteboard over there all week. So I mean, I think that just shows what you kind of manifest it once you read it every day. So
Brandon, when Kale and the defense held him to a field goal and you went back on the field, what were you telling the guys in the huddle?
I was telling him, I was like, just get the stop, and I promise you I'm going to go put that ball in the end zone no matter what it takes. And we're going to go win this game. And I told my boys I love them and just go fight, and let's finish this ball game out and finally bring home a win. And shout out for the blocked field goal and the defensive stop, holding to 2 field goals back to back. And once I knew we got that ball back and they'd only put up a field goal, I was like, we're going to go put the ball in the end zone and win the game. And everybody on the offense was right there with me and believed in me. I believed in them, and we put the ball in the end zone. And it was a great feeling to come up victorious.
For Tony and for Kale, you guys had 5 sacks coming in tonight. I believe you guys had 5 tonight in just this game. So you guys have been wanting to play better on the line of scrimmage throughout the season. For both of you, how do you feel like you guys did play better on the defensive line tonight?
Well, I thought Coach Morris did a good job of dialing up pressures, and it's one of those deals where we've given guys a lot of time to sit back there and throw the ball. We've given up a lot of big chunk plays, and early on we were really aggressive. And there was times, in the third quarter I felt like we should have been a little bit more aggressive, and we went back to it at the end. And I think that freed some of these guys up to make some of those plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the same. I think Morris did a great job. He's calling the calls, obviously, so that's a lot of the play calling. And then the D-line, I think we've been wearing on our shoulders that it's been only 5, and we need to get more and have more effect on the game. So, and then again, kudos to the back end. 11 guys got to do their job for that to happen. So.
For Brandon, there's obviously been a lot of movement at the quarterback position this season. You're the 4th quarterback to take the field for the Aggies this season. Just what's this season just been like for you? Just weighing your chance, just watching 3 quarterbacks going and finally getting the shot tonight and it working out for you.
I mean, I love the quarterback room, so I was never being selfish or never in a complaining mode. I love the whole quarterback room. We all are close and have a close bond and relationship. And whenever they were in, I just cheered them on, and I just knew whenever I got my opportunity, I'd want the same, and I'd want them to be able to cheer me on. And all my boys were out there tonight cheering me on, and it was a great feeling. And it's all glory to God. To be honest, I mean, it's hard being in a position of going into. I think I went into fall camp at QB5, and then going into game 1 I was QB4, and that's a lot of people could easily give up on that and put their head down and all that, but I came in every day, I put my head down, I continued to grind, and I was like, God's perfect will be done, and that's exactly what happened, and I can only give all the glory to him.
You like Fortnite dances?
Yeah, Deuce Hogan actually was like, I was like, I'm gonna get in the end zone tonight. He's like, I'll give you $10 if you hit the Fortnite dance. I was like, sounds good to me. I'm gonna hit it.
Awesome.
I was wondering what that was.
Coach, just what was your overall analysis of the offense? I mean, I believe I would have to check over 200 yards passing. I believe that's your first time breaking 200. 364, 4 yards more than your opponent. Again, I believe that's probably the first time you guys have beaten your opponent in terms of total offense. Just what did you like?
Obviously we'll go back and watch the film, we'll dissect it. I think we had good moments on offense. I don't know if we played a great offensive game. I mean, if you're really looking at it, we still had too many 3-and-outs. We had some critical short down situations we didn't execute on. I thought we were really poor on third down passing in those third and medium areas. We had wide open guys and weren't making the right read. So that's a game that I felt like we could have kind of broke open early. I mean, we had a chance to after halftime, taking the lead, getting a short field, not doing anything with it. But, at the end of the day, college football's tough. I mean, that's a team that scored, I think, 50-some-odd points last week, and, played really well. So, again, for us, we made the plays when we needed to make the plays. Again, it's one of those deals where we got a little stale at the end and gave them a chance to go march down the field too and, get right back in the game. So that was really a good win on both sides of the ball. I mean, there were, defense that had times where they kind of got a little lackluster, those 2 drives at the end of the half, getting points on the board after playing such a great first half. So, again, we still got some work to do on offense. But, again, happy with the win, and, we'll get critical on it tomorrow. We'll enjoy tonight.